Hello students, in this lesson we're going to talk about inputting strings and something called the dummy nextLine. What we're going to be learning about is how to input words and sentences from the user, as well as a weird feature of the Java scanner class and how we can work around that. At the end of this lesson you're going to be tasked with writing a program that demonstrates getting user from the input and then printing out that same information. So you may ask, how do I input strings from the keyboard? And we've already talked a little bit about that in previous lessons, the next and the nextLine method from the scanner class. Here is a fully working example input strings demo. I'm going to copy that, go over and paste it here into Dr. Java. Just glancing at it real quickly, we can see that we've got the import statement. Then we create a scanner object. I call it keyboard, and I say equals new scanner system.end. I have a string sentence in a word, and I prompt the user to enter a sentence, and then I say sentence equals keyboard.nextLine, and this is where everything happens. This is going to create, this line right here is going to create a text box where the user is going to type in a complete sentence, then the equal sign will after they hit enter, we'll store it in the variable sentence. Then it'll prompt the user to enter in a word, and this part of the code right here creates a text box. Then the word that is typed in will then be stored into the variable word, and we print it out. Let's go ahead and compile and run that program. I'll save it first. Enter in a sentence. This is a sentence. Enter a word. Okay. Enter. Your sentence. This is a sentence. Your word. Okay. Well, that seems pretty straightforward. nextLine gets the whole sentence, and next gets just one word. We could run it again, and I'll just say this is sentence. This is another sentence. Now notice it asks for a word, but I'm typing in an entire sentence. If I hit enter, you remember it's only going to show that first word, and the reason is because next will read just the next word, and it stops reading at a white space. So there's normally like a space or an end of line character or a tab or something like that. Okay, so that's fine. The thing is, though, in most programs you're going to ask the user for multiple pieces of information, and that introduces us to a weird situation, and I'm going to demonstrate that with this code right here. So this is input strings demo 2, and we're just going to copy that whole code, and the best thing for us to do is to kind of look at this really quickly and then just run it. So here I once again have my import statement, and then I create a scanner object. I have a color and a sentence, and this time I'm actually going to ask for the single word prompt first, where I say enter your favorite color, and they'll type something in, and then have a prompt enter in a sentence, and then they'll type in the sentence, and then hopefully it will print out their favorite color and then their sentence. It seems very straightforward. It's literally just reverse order of the previous program. However, there's a problem. So, well, it compiled, so no problem with that. I'll hit run, enter your favorite color. Okay, well, blue. Single word, no space or anything, just I'm going to hit enter. Then it says, enter a sentence, and well, there's nothing. It didn't even give me that text box. And then it says your favorite color blue, and your sentence, it's totally empty. Like, what in the world? What just happened? I mean, why is the nextLine not creating that text box? And the answer is because of some of the internals that go on with the next command. And that's what we're going to look at here. Oh, look, I did the same exact examples I did right there. So the problem is how the next method works along with the keyboard. So in the example above, I didn't just type in blue. I typed in blue, and then I hit the return key. That's sort of those angle brackets there. So Java puts all of those symbols into something called the input stream, including the symbol for the return key, which is technically known as the EOLC, the end of line character. There's actually like a little symbol for that, but we don't really see it. So the next method pulls blue out of that input stream. You can almost think of it like as a pipe or something like that. But the EOLC was still sitting in the stream, or still sitting there on the pipe. And the nextLine method pulls everything from the stream until it hits an end-of-line character. But since there was already an end-of-line character on the stream when the nextLine method executed, it just grabbed the empty string, double quote, double quote, and the program moved to the next line. As a result, the variable sentence just had the empty string on it. So here's a play-by-play explanation of what happens, what's going on with the input stream, which acts like a pipe. So we had this line of code, system.print, enter your favorite color, and color equals keyboard.next. That was the code. This is the code that prompts for your favorite color. So then I typed in blue and hit the, and you can see here I'm typing in on the keyboard, and this is like the input stream. You kind of think of the B goes there, and then the L, then the U, then the E, then I hit the return key and it shoves that end of line character there. So this is when you type in blue and hit enter. The enter key adds the EOLC into the input stream. So then the command color equals keyboard.next, that executes, and it takes the blue off the stream. It takes that whole blue and stashes it into the variable color. But because of the way that the internals of the Java programming and the Java library works here, that EOLC is still stuck on the end there. And so then it goes to this, since it's system.print, enter a sentence, sentence equals keyboard.nextLine, and so it prints that message out. But when this command gets executed, the keyboard.nextLine, it goes up to the input stream, and since there's already something on the input stream, it says, oh, there's something on the input stream, I'm not even going to bother showing a text box. And so it grabs that end of line character, and everything in front of it, it puts inside here. Well, there's nothing in front of it, so it just leaves that variable blank. So since it immediately hits the EOLC, that is just sitting there, it puts the empty string inside the variable sentence and moves to the next command. So as a result, sentence contains an empty string, and the Dr. Java console never even shows you a text box, which is exactly what we just experienced. And so then these lines execute, and we see no text box appeared. It prints out blue, and then our sentence is totally empty. So the scanner method for nextInt and nextDouble act that exact same way as next. They only remove the information from the input stream, but they don't actually remove that EOLC. Now that is different than the nextLine method, which actually does remove the EOLC from the input stream. So if I had up here, instead of saying color equals keyboard.next, I had said keyboard.nextLine, it actually would have taken all of this and that and kicked it off. And that's just, I'm sure there's reasons for that. I don't know what they are, but that is what's going on behind the scenes. That's one of the things that's the difference between Next and nextLine. So how can we fix the problem? Well, it's literally just a one-line workaround. We're going to have a dummy, that's like a placeholder, nextLine command. That is, we're going to add a nextLine command between when we get the string, that single word, and when you want to get the sentence. And the nextLine method doesn't even need to save the information it reads, because it's just going to remove the EOLC. So we're going to consider the following one-line fix to the program. All right, so keyboard.nextLine, and I've got this between where we the keyboard.next and when we ask for a sentence. So I'm going to copy this and then add that line of code right here. And so keyboard.nextLine, and I'm not even going to save it anywhere. I'm just going to say keyboard.nextLine, and that will remove that EOLC that occurred whenever I typed in blue and then hit enter. All right, and so let's go ahead and compile this and run it. Enter your favorite color, blue. Enter. Now I get the text box. I'm blue. I think it's I can't remember how that whole song goes. But anyway, I have it posted there. So I'll hit enter, and it grabbed the blue and prints it back out, and it prints the sentence, I'm blue, Abba. What was that? I'm blue. Oh, Daba, die or die, whatever the song goes. Anyway, if you don't know the song, look it up. It's a classic. So anyway, you may wonder, why are you calling it a dummy nextLine? Isn't that insensitive and mean? No, that's not insensitive and mean. It's actually an accurate description of what the command does. According to Google, the second definition for dummy is something designed to resemble and serve as a substitute for the real or usual thing, like a counterfeit or a sham. In this case, nextLine command that we just added there is a substitute for the usual purpose of using nextLine, namely to get input from the keyboard. So it's a safe and proper use of the word dummy. For this particular assignment, which I've called using dummies, you are going to have to use one of those, and here's basically what you need to do. You need to prompt the user for their name, prompt the user for a sentence, a number, and then another sentence, and then print all that information out. So you can see I ran a simple test here with their name, a sentence, last name, and another sentence, and then it prints all that out. You will have to apply the stuff that we saw here. So in reverse order, we saw the proper vocabulary word or definition for dummy. We saw about having a dummy nextLine to clear out that input stream. We saw why that was necessary due to the internal workings of the next versus nextLine, which we would never see unless we had some sort of technical manual or someone to teach us. So that's great. We saw the problem that led to it, and also a very straightforward program which read a sentence and then it read a word. I've observed other intro and advanced programming classes that actually they go to all sorts of what I would consider advanced workarounds to try to get around this issue. Not to say that there's not a good reason for that. I think they probably have some other reasons for having that, but this is really straightforward. Have a dummy nextLine, and you'll be good for that. So hope that made sense, and thanks for watching. Good luck with the program.